You're a jerk.
I know.
You're a jerk. 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 You're a jerk.
No boy.
You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
No boy.
You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
No boy.
You're a jerk.
What up, world? It's your man G Williams coming at you. And as you already know, it ain't right because I ain't wrapped too tight. But I'm going to say something. So I'm going to say something.
What up, world? It's your man G Lewis, and I just want to let you know I say what I say because I am my father's son. And with that being said, our introduction's out of the way. We got a topic that we kind of want to throw your way to kind of see what your feel is on it. And I believe this one come from a fan, might have came from a fan, so we want to get this out there.
Thank you, Miss Kiana Claiborne. She asked us a question, what do we think about prenups?
Yeah.
Want to get our opinion.
So with that being said, we want to introduce the question, is a prenup violating trust in the household? Is it a violation of trust in the household? And so I say, no. I don't think a prenup is a violation of trust. I don't think it's different than any other agreement that you would have in a relationship. I also think it's nothing wrong with getting it all in writing before the marriage so that you can set an expectation, a clear set of expectations of what you're looking forward to. Because for those of you that are married, how many of you were out there and you thought all you had to do was this? And then you woke up in the morning and you found out that these things were added to your list. Well, a prenup, you know, kind of eliminates that because you can say, hey, this is all I had to live up to. And it prevents, you know, some issues in case, you know, there's some hurt feelings and you guys got to go separate ways. But, you know, that's just a couple of my feelings on the subject. What do you think?
Ladies, I would never, ever, 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 ever ask you for a prenup if you make more than me.
Wow. Wow.
Ever. I don't think I don't want to violate our relationship like that. So if you make more than me, nah, man, I'm not gonna ask for a prenup. That is not trustful. That is not trustful. You don't trust her. You gonna ask her for a prenup?
So you think it violates trust?
It's a total violation. Shoot, if she make more than me, it is a violation of violations. It is. You should hog tie a man and beat him if he asks you for that. That's what I think about it.
So with that being said, I'm going to go back to a couple of more things to cover when it comes to prenup and why it's actually positive. The problem is, you know, when you get married, everything becomes commingled, right? So your finances, everything that you earn, your house, all of that stuff, your car, everything becomes commingled. Throw some kids in the mix, everything becomes commingled. So it becomes difficult for the courts to look at what's yours and what you have accumulated throughout the marriage and, you know, what's hers and what she's accumulated throughout the marriage. Or if, you know, it's his and hers, you know, what you guys have accumulated, right? So commingling gets eliminated through a prenup. They don't have to. They don't have to figure that out because you put all that in the agreement at first. And then here's one real big thing that I think a lot of people don't think about when they think about prenups. Prenups is the ultimate protection for kids. When I say that to say this. If you have kids, right, and let's say, you know, God forbid, things don't work out with you and your wife, but you have kids, things don't work out, you meet a new woman, you decide you go get married, everything that you earn and that you build, you building for the legacy of your children, right? Mm-hmm. You get married, you don't have a prenup, wife can take all of it. Kids could be left with nothing. A lot of people don't even think about that when they consider remarriage, right? So, you know, those are two positives that I think a prenup. Now, people say, well, if you going into the relationship thinking that it's going to end before you even start. No, you going into the relationship accepting it for what it is. A big risk, a big gamble. There's the possibility that you won't be who you were yesterday. There's a possibility that I won't be who I was yesterday and that you will decide that we can't make it work. At that point, we should be able to leave in an equitable fashion. But that's not always happening. And without prenuptial agreements, how you gonna make that happen? That's the reason why it's invented, to kind of protect both parties. So, you know, that's me. Do you have anything other than kill yourself to add with you know, for prenups?
No, but You got to kill yourself if she make more money. Man, that is a violation of trust. But on a real note, prenup is nothing but an extension of what the institution of marriage is anyway, from a legal basis. Like we've talked about it before, in our westernized culture today, that's what marriage is. It defines property. Okay, because when we were getting married from where we were from, it was on a whole different spectrum. It's only until the European influence came that they wanted to mark their territory as to where their property was going. It was to mark in order to legitimize the children. It was to mark, that's the whole inception of dowries and financial transaction. That's what a marriage represents. And so a prenup, again, is nothing but a further extension of what it really all encompasses. And so, am I against prenups? Absolutely not. I'm not against them at all. Each situation determines that. Everybody say Kanye was dumb for not signing a prenup, right? Well, Kim K is worth $30 million a year. Of course I ain't signing no prenup. So, which goes back to my original point. If she can make some cash, then why sign a prenup? Don't hurt yourself. Help yourself. Yeah, because with prenup, it signifies, like you said, protects you against commingling. So whatever you make during the marriage is up for grabs anyway. With a prenup, it works. But if you have something prior, that's what it protects. And so, for me, I really didn't feel it was necessary to protect my socks. Because that's pretty much all I had coming into the relationship. But for someone who might have had a little bit more financial foundation and was more well-to-do, and they want to protect that 67 Corvette they have because their daddy gave it to them, whatever, then a prenup is necessary, and I'm down for that. But if you ain't acquire it prior to, then you wasting your time and your money to do that.
Okay, well, I don't necessarily agree, because a prenup is not just only to protect what you have when you go into the marriage, but it can also outline what you guys are going to split in the event of what you earned during the marriage also. If you sign a prenup and you know that you're going to be a millionaire because when you met, you were in law school and you were getting recruited by some financial firms and you're going to make millions and millions of dollars, you can outline that in your prenup. So it's not just protecting what you come into the marriage with, but also what you think you're going to be worth when you leave the marriage. So that's something that a lot of people got to understand, because not all relationships work. Relationships are based on love, and sometimes love fizzles. And when love fizzles and people's feelings get hurt, it gets personal. And then when it gets personal, now people want to hurt you by taking from you. So you got to think beyond what you feel in your chest and start using your brain for thinking and let your heart do the feeling. And that's kind of the way I look at prenups. But there are some other options for those people that's looking at me saying, why didn't you come up with this show 20 years ago? Now I'm stuck with her. Well, listen, there are other options on postnuptial. Right? Postnuptial agreement. Just because you married don't mean that you can't sit down with your spouse and hammer out an agreement. So when you're doing this, of course, you have to think what's fair. And a good time to do that is not after you just had an argument and be like, I'm taking my stuff. That's not the time to have that conversation. But, sometimes over dinner, sometimes you might want to say, hey, you know what? If something were to go bad, what would you like to take? What in the house would you like to take? How would we deal with the house? How would we deal with the kids? And writing that stuff down. There's nothing wrong with that. You take it to a lawyer, have them look it over. You think it's fair, I think it's fair. We both sign it, we're good to go. Does that violate trust? Absolutely not. It's actually you guys making sure that you will not allow your personal to interfere with any situations if it goes awry, right? And then separate accounts. Separate accounts. Please have separate accounts. A lot of people feel like they're based on this myth that because you get married, you're supposed to put all your money together. You give up the I's for we. Well, we need to have separate accounts. Me and my wife have separate accounts. And because we have different financial philosophies also, when it comes to bill paying. If there was $500 in her account and there was a bill cost $100, she's going to give them the $100 and keep her $400 because she feels better. She feels more secure knowing that that $400 is in a bank. If the shoes was on the other foot, I had $500 and the bill was $100, I'm going to give them $350 because I'm going to feel more comfortable knowing that there's no bill next month. That's a difference in philosophies, and respecting those differences in philosophies is something that you got to do in a relationship. So you have to do what works for you. So separate accounts is very, very important. But at the same time, you can put money together for bills. You can put money together for savings, and you can have an agreement system. Like me and my wife have an agreement system. If it's over a certain amount, I pick up the phone and I call her and I say, hey, what do you think of this? And she gives me feedback, and then I make a decision on that purchase. And, you know, communication is the key. Making sure that you guys can talk to each other. If you stop talking, a prenup, postnup, around the corner nup, nothing's going to help you. So you have to be able to talk and talk about tough topics. And know that just because you're talking about tough topics, that it's not personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, that's just what I think. There are always other options. And I think we have to accept the fact that marriage is a risk. It's a gamble. It's not guaranteed to work. You put a lot of work into it. It's not guaranteed to work. So why not protect yourself and do it at a time when you both are thinking fairly to do so? But that's just me.
I believe in the Kevin Federline plan. Okay? That's what I believe in. All right? Because I think this brother had an understanding of everything that you just said. And he was able to use it to his advantage. And so, you know, nothing wrong with separate accounts, you know, or maybe joint accounts, but with an understanding of a little play money, you know. Kevin Federline, which is able to play a little bit more than the average divorced dude. And I just, you know, shouts out to him.
But he doing the same thing. He doing the same thing you got a problem with. When women do it's a problem.
But it's equality. It's fair. It's free.
So you saying it's okay for us to get screwed over by women then?
Only when it's advantageous for us.
There's never going to be advantageous for us to get screwed over by women. It's not advantageous for us to get screwed over by women, and it's not advantageous for us to screw women over.
But he didn't get screwed over.
Yeah, he didn't, but men are. So it's either wrong, all the way wrong, or it's not.
But no, when we talk about accountability and responsibility,
but it's either all the way wrong and it's not. Either when I stab somebody and I kill him is murder all of the time, or it's not. So it's either wrong or it's, I mean, he used the kids to his advantage, Kevin Federline.
Right.
Are you recording this?
Right. Well, that's what they do.
But does it make it right?
What's right?
If you
right
say no, right is not subjective.
Right is subjective.
If you take a stance, hold to your stance.
I'm holding.
So you say, when women do it, is it right?
I say, do unto others as they do unto you.
When women do it, is it right?
Absolutely not.
So when men do it, it's also not right.
But it's given the benefit of the doubt because of the old rules, gender roles that we talked about that you hate, and I think that sometimes must be enforced.
If it's wrong 90% of the time, it's wrong 100% of the time.
That depends on 10% though.
Not the 10% that's on the 100%.
But if 100% is 100%, then if you got 90, you subtracted wrong.
Not really, because that leaves 10%. That should go on that 100% to make it 100%.
But then if you carry the 2, then we all out of whack.
Yeah. But that's that new man. So, marriage is uncertain. Marriage is a gamble. And you got to get realistic about that. Marriage is a risk. There's always the possibility that you guys will grow into individuals that can no longer be together. So when you do that, you know, there's nothing wrong with making sure that you can protect yourself. People sometimes make promises that they can't or have no intention of keeping. There's nothing wrong with if you figure out later on that you and somebody are not supposed to be together, that there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself and making sure that you don't get screwed over in the long run. And you shouldn't get screwed over. You should leave with what's fair for you, and they should leave with what's fair for them. That's just what I think. Because I don't want to take nothing that ain't mine because I believe in my ability to earn my own. You shouldn't want to take from me because you should believe in your ability to earn your own. That's just me, though.
Right. What I got to say about the situation is boxing rules. Protect yourself at all times. But in my case, you can have it all. That's my philosophy. Being right or wrong, you can have it all, because if that thing or those things just create a further wedge, then I'd rather get rid of them than to waste any more time, effort, or energy dealing with you over them. So, you know, maybe right, maybe wrong, is just different. But I say keep it all.
Shoot, I should have married you, player.
Well, yeah, but
We
you know,
got divorced in a year. I could have had 2 houses.
right. But I voted against Prop 8, so
Yeah. We would have had a problem, yeah. We'd have had to go to somewhere else.
right. So with that, hey, like I say, like it, love it. You want more of it? Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you share it if we said something that sparks a nerve. Until the next one, I'm G. Williams.
I'm G. Lewis.
You're a jerk.
Booker G. We'll see you at the next
You're a
one.
jerk.
I know.
Peace.
You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
I know.
You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
I know.
You're a jerk. You're a jerk.
No boy.
You're a jerk.